Hello, and welcome back to another IB Math speedrun with me, Vince. So in this speedrun, we're gonna go through how to find the area of a triangle. So to find the area of a triangle, it might seem quite easy. I mean, you just base times height. But if we know one of the, it's actually better, or at least a bit faster to calculate the area if we know the base and, well, actually two sides and the angle in between them. So if we know this angle here and we know the side A and side B, the area is actually equal to 1/2 AB sine theta. So that's how to calculate the area of a non-right triangle from two sides and an angle. So that was pretty simple, so let's jump into some questions. So the first question we have is find the difference, I'll do the even ones, between the areas of two possible triangles ABC in which BAC is equal to 20, BC is equal to 52, and AC is equal to 2BC. Oh, BAC is 20 degrees. So let's draw out our triangle. So we have BAC, let's say this is 20. This is side A. BC is 52 and AC is 2BC. So let's have a long AC side and then a short BC side. Okay. And so the two different triangles will, of course, be constructed like so. So we have BC is 52 and AC is 2BC. So the AC is 104, that's what they're saying. So we have two cases here. And the first case is which, let us solve for this angle here. So we have 52 over sine 20 is equal to 104 divided by sine B. So we have sine B is equal to 104 divided by 52 times sine 20. So I get sine B is equal to 0.684. And so there are actually two cases for what B could be. Of course, B, if we take the arc sine of this, so it'd simply be 43.2, but it could also be 180 minus this, since they have the same sine value, which would be 136.8. So we need to solve for the areas of both of these triangles. Since we have these two, we could solve for the angle between the two sides that we already know, which is 180 minus 20, so 160 minus 43.2 and 160 minus 136.8. So in this case, 160 minus 136.8 is 23.2, and 160 minus 43.2 is equal to 116.8. And so now we can calculate the areas. So we know we have 1/2 AB sin C, so we have 1/2 times 104 times 52 times sine 116.8. So this is equal to effectively 52 squared times sine 116.8. So we get 2,414 centimeters cubed. Is it in centimeters? Yeah. And for the other triangle, well, we have the same thing, but times sine 23.2 instead. So divide by sine 116.8 and multiply it by sine 23.2. And so for this other one, we get 1.065 centimeters squared. Sorry, it should be squared. So if we subtract these two values, it would be 2414 minus this. So we should get a value of around 1,349 centimeters squared. is the difference between these triangles. So yeah, the book gives a slightly different answer, but it's not that off, so I would assume it's some kind of trigonometry, rounding error. Okay, so on to the next one. And so the next question shows that we have a diagram, shows a mast AB, which is 12 meters long. Points C and D lie on the ground such that the angle of elevation from C to B is 60 degrees. And the angle of elevation from D to B is 55 degrees. Given that the distance between C and D is 15 meters, find the angle CAD and the area of CAD. So let's draw this diagram out. It's a bit confusing. So CB, B down, and then like this, like so. So we have A, it's like a kite. CBD, we know this is 60, this is 12 meters, and this is 55. Not to scale, obviously. And this is also 15 meters. Oh, this is a pyramid. Oh, this is weird. Okay. Sorry, let me draw this a bit better. I understand it now. So what we actually have is sort of pyramid here. This is a vertical line, 12 meters up. And then this is 60 degrees. And then this line connecting here, this is 55. So this is 3D. So this is perpendicular and this is perpendicular. So yeah, okay. Between C and D is 15. So D, C, B, A, B. We need to find angle CAD and the area of CAD. Okay. So, what information are we given? Since this is 55 and it's perpendicular, this should be 45. And on the other side, that should be 30. So we can calculate this AD side. So we have sine 12 over sine 55 is equal to 80 over sine 45. So we have, we could also use, I guess, simply twelve over AD equals 10. 55. So we have 80 is equal to 12 over tan 55, which is equal to 8.4. Similarly, on this side, we have 12 divided by tan 60 as that side, so this is 6.93. And so now we need to figure out this triangle down here. So we have all three sides, 50 and 6.93 and 8.4. So we need to find the angles, and I guess we can use the cosine rule to do that for us. So we need to find in specific angle CAD, which is not 90 degrees. So we have 15 square, let's just label it A. So we have cosine A is equal to 8.4 squared plus 6.93 squared minus 15 squared all over 2 times 8.4 times 6.93. So this is equal to 6.93 squared plus 8.4 squared minus 15 squared all over 2 divided by 8.4 divided by 6.93. So we get something like 0.914. So if we get the cosine of this, inverse cosine, we get that the angle is actually about 156.1 degrees. Yeah, is that correct? Doesn't say. What do I say? 6i. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong question. Yeah, that's correct. So now we need to find the area, and that's simply 1/2 AB sin C. So we have 1/2 0.5 times 6.93 times 8.4 times sine of 156.1. So we get that the area is approximately 11.8 meters squared. So yeah, so that was the answer. And for the final value for the final question, we have a yacht and a catamaran leave the harbor at 9 o'clock hours. The yacht sails at 24 knots on course 037, and the catamaran at 15 knots at 139. Find the bearing and the distance in nautical miles of the yacht from the catamaran at 14,000 hours, where of course 1 knot is 1 nautical mile per hour. Hello, sorry about that, I'm back. So let's continue with this question. So the yacht sails at 24 knots on course 037. Let's just calculate the amount of time it takes. So 1400 hours minus 900 hours is 14, it's just 5 hours. So it sails for 24 knots for 5 hours, which is 24 times 5. So it sails 120 nautical miles at course 037. So bearings mean you're measuring from the north. So there is a 37-degree angle. And let's say this is the yacht. The catamaran sails at 50 knots. So that would be 75 knots at 139. So, sorry, not 75 nautical miles, Nope, not that. This is 75. This is 139. And this is, again, what is it? 24 times 5 should be 120. Yep. Find the bearing and the distance of the nautical miles of the yacht from the catamaran at 1400 hours. So, what do we need? We need to calculate this angle. The yacht from the catamaran. So it would be this angle over here, I guess. Technically here. We'll do some fun stuff later to figure it out. Anyways, 139. So 139 minus 37 means that this angle here is 102 degrees. So if we have 102 and we have these two, we need to find this other side. Well, we'll use the cosine rule. So we have this distance, c squared, is equal to 120 squared plus 75 squared minus 2 times 120 times 75 cosine 102. So that's equal to 120 squared plus 75 squared minus 2 times 120 times 75 times cosine 102. So that's around 23,767 nautical miles. So the actual distance is equal to the square root of that, which is 154.2 really. 154.2 nautical miles, and we need to find the bearing now. So if we have this triangle, let us find this bearing over so. So what we have to do is we need to draw a line that looks north from here. So we know this line looks north. So we also need to find a line that looks north from here. So what we know is that if this is 37, 102, so what's that? that is 139 degrees total, then this angle here in total should be equal to 180 minus 139, which is equal to 41 degrees. So we need to actually find this angle on the triangle to get the bearing. So 41 degrees, well, we have 102 here, so we know that 154.2 over sine 102 is equal to 120 over sine that angle. Let's call it A. So what we have is sine A is equal to 120 divided by 154.2 times sine 102. So we get around 0.76. So the actual angle should be equal to 49.6. So the actual angle is 49.6, and we know this is 41. So we have 49.6 minus 41, which is equal to around, I think, 8.57. And that should be the bearing from that position. Yeah, because the answer says it's 115 degrees, which would mean that it's more of the yacht pointing down to the catamaran, which for me makes no sense. So anyways, that was the end of the speedrun. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one.